Brandon Briggs, sports consultant and mentor. Today's conversation is more of a wake up call. Recently, we just had CIF finals, and like the last month of season is really, really cutthroat. You have everyone that runs track in league, right? And then you have a cutoff there. A lot of kids don't make it. And then you have CIF prelims, which is the first round of the playoff, so to speak. And man, there's got to be 30 to 40 athletes that qualify per event, right? Boys and girls. So a lot of people. And it's cut down to nine. So a lot of people are cut off there. And then from there, of those nine of each division, was that 36 athletes in each event, is now cut down to 12. So there's a lot of athletes being chopped off. And, I feel that athletes that are in prelims, a lot of them are just there to be there. They're excited, they're happy. And then at finals, you have athletes that are actually like the ones who are there to compete, right? And they're putting their all into it. And there's some that win and there's some that don't win. And the reality is a lot of them that try their hardest end up in a spot where their season is over. And in many cases, their career ever in this sport is completely done. So, it's a tough situation, right? Even if, yeah, it's just tough, right? And so this conversation today is about your wish is my command. And I believe that whatever we put our thoughts on, whatever we believe as true, is what's always going to be consistent. That's what's going to happen, right? Now, obviously, if I say the sky is red, right, and I truly, truly, truly believe that, and I tell someone that, then they might say to me, well, I don't believe that. I see a blue sky, etc. But if I truly say that's what I believe because I have an eye situation that I transfer, blue into red, well, then it makes sense, right? I'm saying all this, your wish is my command concept, because it's very important that if you go back to the last video, the concept or the prep talk that I had was it's all your fault, right? This is an extension of that because whatever your thoughts are, whatever your beliefs are, is what you get. So obviously, it might be too soon for some of you guys hearing this because you might have just come off, a bad loss or just a bad performance day, and now you're out, right? It's track and field. These are conversations we should have, and I think the sooner you can understand this concept, the quicker you can bounce back to move to your next venture or to next season or to your college route or whatever it may be. So your wish is my command is literally about what you do and think is exactly what you're going to get. And here's an example of an athlete that put herself into a tough scenario, right? So I had an athlete who her goal was to jump, 36 feet, and she wanted to make varsity and wanted to compete at the county championships. Um, every single time throughout the season, she would jump, she would foul that big jump. I'm like, I don't understand why all the ones that are the big ones you foul. And I was trying to think of like, how do we fix your fouling? How do we adjust your step and all these things? It came down to it. She didn't make the goal she had for herself. And then we had a meeting after the track meet, the one she missed. And I heard her talking and she was like, yeah, it was so much fun, this and that. And I was like, oh, what happened? Like, what's up? And she's like, oh, I went to Coachella this past weekend. And I was like, oh, hmm, okay. So I get it. You went to Coachella because you didn't make the championships. I get it. But then I thought about it and I said, well, when did you buy these tickets? Because Coachella tickets, you need to buy them well in advance. And she was like, oh, my mom got them for as a birthday gift when like in December or something like that. And so I was like, so you're telling me that you were already committed to a concert that was the same weekend as the championships that you wanted to go to? And she was like, well, if I would have qualified, I would have, gone to the championships instead. And I said, yes, but you had an actual commitment of you paid, you had this physical item in front of you for months. And that was a reminder of this is where I'm going. So the reason why you kept fouling those big jumps is because you already had your attention locked in to this concert, not the championship. What if you would have purchased your parents' tickets for entry for the championship meet? What if you would have already set dinner plans after the championship meet for your parents to celebrate you making this event happen? We didn't do that. And so she understood this concept, right? And maybe you do on the other end. And so what I say to you is ask yourself, if you're a person on the bad side, right? If you didn't qualify or you just didn't make it, ask yourself, were you in a place where you were 100% committed, 100% in belief, 100% in expectation that you were going to qualify? Was there any doubt at all or any fears at all that you consumed? And if there is, then that is a part of what took you to the negative route. Okay. I'm limited on time right now, but um, my sophomore year, I said this before, but my sophomore year in junior college, my goal was to jump 50 feet. The last 5 weeks of season, I gained 1 foot per week from 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, right? Or 6 weeks of season because I went 50 feet at regionals. But still, I had no doubt at all that I was not going to jump 50 feet because I had a situation where I was not going to go to college, a 4 year, if I didn't earn a full scholarship. And I was told that 50 feet earned you a full scholarship. So there was nothing at all. And I didn't even fear it. I was so in belief, right? Even my personal best triple jump, I wrote the Facebook post already. I had it sitting in my drafts. I said, I'm so thankful, all these things that I jumped 50, I think I put 52 feet, 5 inches or whatever it was. And I jumped 52.4, right? Like I was literally quarter of an inch away from the goal that I had preset and wrote this on my drafts. I pictured myself going home and pushing send on that button so it'll go to everybody on Facebook, right? There's got to be a certain level of conviction and belief in yourself that there's no other option. I do not like the phrase plan B. Like I don't like having the backup options. And so many parents tell their athletes, you want to have a fallback option just in case. I get it. You're saying that because you love your kids and you want them to have that backup plan because you know from experience that anything could happen. But what an athlete hears is fear, doubt, and kind of like a hater, right? Because I just know if we're playing the number one team in basketball, football, whatever, and there's a player on my team that says, hey, we're going to win this game, but we also want to be prepared for if we lose, what's going to happen. We want to have another plan. If we don't make the playoffs, maybe we can go eat at Chuck E. Cheese, all right, or something. Like players don't want to hear that. A true person that's convicted and brainwashed themselves into this way of thinking never wants to hear anything of the contrary. It's going to be we're an underseed or underdog for this game. We're supposed to lose by 40. Like don't care. All those critics, they're saying what they want to say. It's only going to create a better story, right? So what I say to you is, if you did have a track meet that just fell short, and you've just fell short of your goals, think about all the times you you allowed fear to sink itself in, all the times you were nervous and worrisome. If there was more than one situation, then you subconsciously brought that into play. So moving forward, that's got to go. It does not belong here. If you are fearful and you're committed to your goal, great, be fearful, but go to where you need to get to. And if you know that you're committed to going regardless, if you're excited or not, or fearful or whatever, then you're actually committing to the goal than believing in the contrary. So basically, it's like if I don't want to like hammer this in the wrong way, but like you got to make sure that you're pushing forward regardless. That comes down to school, sports, life, all those things. The times where I've made commitments and said, look, I'm fearful. I don't know if this is going to work out, but I know that whatever happens is going to happen in favor of where I'm going. That helps me overcome my fears. So for you guys, if you did deal with the loss, it sucks. And I don't even want to say I'm sorry for it. Like, it's happening because it's supposed to happen. Because maybe the goals you have are so much bigger. Or maybe you had a goal and you set a bigger goal halfway through season. Well, in order for you to get to the next goal, you had to go through this. Everything happens in favor. Keep pushing and going the direction you're going. It's all going to work out. Okay. If you did lose, let all the emotions out. Let them go. So that when you're ready to go, you're going to move forward without hanging on to anything else. Move forward and enjoy the rest of this process. I promise you, this is going to be a great challenge or trouble part of the book of your whole life. That is a huge success.